Good afternoon, and welcome to the Embedded Executive Podcast. My name is Rich Nass. I am with Open Systems Media, more specifically with Embedded Computing Design. This week, my guest is Ralph Moore. I think you're the founder as well as the president of Micro Digital. Is that right, Ralph? Are you the founder?
Yeah, that's correct.
Very good. And when was that? How long you been doing this? I'm gonna say it's quite some
Since
time.
1975.
1975. Okay. That's pre-Bill Gates, isn't it? 1975?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, so what prompted this is that you guys have an operating system, and you have decided to take that operating system, which had been something you sold previously, and now it's an open source operating system. So I'd like you to through the rationale of why you think that's a good idea, but you probably want to tell me the history of the OS before we actually get into that latter part.
Yes, I think that would be helpful. SMX was released in 1989, and at that time it was just a real-time multitasking kernel. Uh, at that time, there were a few other RTOSs, such as Vertex, I think VxWorks, QNX, PSOS, and others. And during the 1990 to 2000, other RTOSs came on the scene, such as Nucleus, CMX, Microcos, etc. The period from 1990 to 2010 was the boom time for commercial RTOSs. During this period, we expected to be paid for our work, and our customers agreed to do so. Also, during this period, industry publications received a lot of their revenue from RTOS vendors.
Yep,
So did shows and
I'll
whatnot.
definitely confirm that one.
At any rate, embedded Linux appeared in 1999, and over the ensuing decade, it took away at least a third of the commercial RTOS market, maybe as much as half. It took the portion called soft real time. And I think this impacted the large RTOS vendors like VxWorks more than us.
Now, why would somebody make that original Linux open source when everybody else figured out how to make money from these things? Why would they want to throw that one out there and not make money from it?
That's that's a good question. I guess you'd have to ask what's his name, the originator of
Linus Torvalds.
yeah, Torvalds. I guess you'd have to ask him why.
Okay.
Uh, I guess he didn't want to start a business. But at any rate,
But did that one
so
become super popular because it was free or because it was really good?
well, I guess that's kind of hard to answer. I mean, I think a big appeal was that it was free, but then also there was kind of a cult around it.
Mhm.
It came from Unix, and that was free. So I really don't know a great deal about Linux.
Okay.
Uh, Getting back to micro digital,
Yep.
the SMX sales peaked in 2010 and went downhill from there, steadily down. Um,
2010.
Free
I'm
art.
I'm a little surprised. I would have thought it had peaked earlier than that. So that's pretty interesting. What was the application that was driving the majority of your sales?
Well, SMX was wide used in a wide variety of products. Excuse me, medical systems,
Mhm.
factory systems. Excuse me, just a very wide variety. It was not application specific.
And why would I choose SMX over some of the other choices that are out there, at least at the time?
Well, at the time, we were doing a lot of marketing and sales and so forth, and it was a competitive environment. And all I can say is that, some people preferred SMX. I was doing the sales and I was trying to establish a rapport with people. I think a lot of it was that way, just kind of we each had some advantages and that it maybe fit an application better than another one.
Okay.
Well, at any rate, free RTOS was released in 2003, and by 2011 it became the leading RTOS. And over the following years, it effectively took away the rest of the commercial
Hmm.
RTOS market. So during that period, from 2011 until now, many commercial RTOSs vanished, and two of the major ones, Microcos and ThreadX, became open source. So by mid 2016, the trend was clear to me. And also, security of IoT devices was becoming an industry concern. So I saw an opportunity to meet this need and decided to convert SMX into a secure RTOS
Hmm.
for Cortex-M MCUs, which account for about half of the 32-bit MCU market. Um, as usual, I talked to my wife about this a lot. This turned out to be a lot more difficult than I expected. And beginning about that time, I was just starting to work half time. So after 8 years of part-time effort, I think we now have a solid foundation to help solve the IoT security problem. And this is based upon MPUs and other Cortex-M features. The Cortex-M architecture is surprisingly complicated, and yet it does have some good security features built into it. Now, that then the steady decline of the commercial RTOS business
Hmm.
has has forced us to reconsider our business plan. Uh, we officially announced Secure SMX 2 years ago, and that was met with very little interest in the industry.
Okay.
And so now we've changed our business model to offering Secure SMX as an open source product and selling support contracts to companies that adopt it for their products. Uh, Basically, I think what's happened now is that the younger generations of embedded systems programmers expect things to be free. And if your product's not free, they won't even look at it.
But it sure makes it hard to make money when you're offering your product for free.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I think we're not the only one to run into this wall, but it's an enormously high wall of indifference. And so my rationale now, the way I see it, is that the way to get through this wall is to make the product free, so that the embedded programmers and engineers will at least look at it and maybe try to use it. Then, if they adopt the product, Secure SMX, in their project, then our goal is to sell support service to their management. Uh, I look at that as these are the people who sign the paychecks.
Now, others have
And
tried this and not had a whole lot of success.
I'm sorry, what?
Others have tried this and have not had a whole lot of success.
Well, actually, I think this business model is being used by quite a few companies.
Okay.
At least we're going to give it a try. But the rationale here is that, the people who are signing the paychecks are painfully aware of what the development projects are costing them. And they have a strong incentive to make sure that their programmers and engineers are working efficiently, and also that any bugs discovered in the RTOS are quickly fixed. So we think that makes a strong sales proposition, and we're going to find out.
Okay. So where is the operating system if I want to download and use it? Is it in GitHub? Is that where I'd go?
Yes, it's on GitHub.
Okay. And is it obvious where I would go if I had support issues? How are you going to know who's downloading and who needs help?
You apparently you cannot tell who's downloading it, but our expectation is that people will come to us with questions, and we'll find out if they decided to adopt it, and then we'll try to get through to their management.
Okay. Are
That's
you
not as strong as we'd like, but
right?
it seems to be the best you can do.
Are there certain avenues that you'd like to see it adopted where it has more potential, or is it mainstream?
Well, I think IoT devices are
Mhm.
the major application area.
Okay.
And it's well known that these devices are very vulnerable. In most cases, they're, embedded systems to which networking has been added, and they were never designed to be secure against attacks via the internet.
Hmm. Okay. And your differentiator, I mean, I hate to say that you're the same as the other guys, but in a lot of ways you're the same as the other guys.
Well, actually, the MPU support of free RTOS and microcos is very weak. The Zephyr support is much better, but it's still far less than what Secure SMX offers. And then ThreadX supports partitioning only if there's an MMU present, which
Got
we're
it.
not aiming at those high-level systems. Uh, the thing of it is we offer complete partition isolation, isolation of one partition from another. And that's actually not easy to achieve in a microcontroller because you have only one address space. In an MMU, every partition or application, whatever, is in its own address space. So that makes partitioning much easier. Secure SMX has a whole lot of features to make partitioning easier and then to protect the system from malware that's in a partition. So
Okay.
one thing I might say here, I think is of interest is that especially IoT developers have started using what are called open source components, mostly from GitHub.
Hmm.
And these are known to have multiple vulnerabilities. And now we're learning that many of them already have embedded malware in them. And GitHub has recently started requiring two-factor authentication for contributors because I guess a lot of many contributors are contributing malware.
Right.
So, so this I think is a huge vulnerability in a large number of IoT devices is that they have these open source components that are riddled with vulnerabilities and may already have malware. And if the system is not partitioned, even the most insignificant piece of module in that system gives a hacker access to everything in the system. All kinds of secret information, etc. So I think that partitioning is becoming essential. If you're going to download a component, and the idea is that the developer doesn't understand the component, or else he'd write it himself.
Right. That's
So
exactly right.
he's really not able to go in there and find the vulnerabilities or whatever.
Hmm.
So my main concept here is, let's put this into an isolated partition. So at the very least, the malware cannot access encryption keys and other, critical information
Hmm.
that's outside of that partition.
This is really interesting, and I think we could actually talk about this for a lot longer, but this is about where we want to stop this. How should somebody who's a potential developer proceed? Go to GitHub, download, and then get in touch with you?
Yes, that
Okay.
would be a good plan. We're happy to answer questions and to help people along.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate it. I certainly appreciate what you're attempting to do. I think it's a great thing, and I wish you all the luck in the world.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
That was Ralph Moore. He's the president of Microdigital, and I am Rich Nass with Open Systems Media.